Summertime, and the living is easy. The knotweed's blooming, and a Gwenville is high. Our owners are rich, and they're also good-looking. So just watch the playoff teams start to cry. Hello everyone, I'm Mark Griffiths from Wrexham AFC, and it's time for another Final Whistle Weekly. It's summertime, of course, so, we're sort of winding down a little bit here in the pod cave, but nonetheless, the world of Wrexham never stops. And so, in a little bit, we will have a rather fun archive interview with Cameroonian, even, legend Patrick Suffo, who played, of course, up front for us under Dean Saunders in the first season that we were in the National League. A really high-quality player who, as you'll hear in the interview, was playing under an enormous handicap. And then, we'll also be talking about the first departure of the summer. That's where we'll kick off. So, after this, you'll hear Neil Williams and I paying tribute to a terrific guy and a magnificent servant of the club, Mark Howard. Oh, Neil, Mark Howard's gone. Bless him.
It's such a shame, isn't it? He's been just a great servant for the club over the last 4 years. He's been absolutely superb. A gentleman, a scholar, courteous. What else? The season when we were in the National League, and we knew that Foster was coming in, and he bowed. He took it very humbly and said he bowed down and let Foster take over. When Howard had basically seen us through the whole of that season. But he let Foster come in and take his place for the last few games to gain his promotion. What a lovely, lovely chap.
Yeah, absolutely. You say he's a gentleman, a scholar, and the Hong Kong Pink Panther, rather, theme tune was Gentleman, a Scholar, and an Acrobat. You can't miss out Acrobat with Mark Howard because, gosh, where is he now? 37, 67? I can't remember which. But, hell's bells. His professionalism and the way he's been able to keep coming back after long spells without playing, and when the reserves don't have games, he's just been remarkable, especially this season, I thought, to be able to just step in an emergency and be excellent.
Yeah, that says a lot about the character of the guy. He's sat on the bench all season, and when he's called upon Mark, he's stepped up to the mark and done a great job for us. And he's been like that his whole career. He's been with us. He's been one of those goalkeepers we'll remember for a long, long time. This unfortunately happens in football. Players move on, and we're in the Championship now. But he's been a great servant to the club, and all we can do is wish him well in his future quest, whatever he may choose to do.
Sixth best goals per game ratio in the history of the club, which is quite something, and second best in terms of goalkeepers who played in the Football League for us. Admittedly, not all his games were in the Football League, but out of players who played in the Football League, only Andy Dibble has conceded this at a better rate than Howard. That's quite something. It was a step down for him to come to the National League anyway. And yes, he played a key role. And when Leighton got injured as well, and he was stepping back into the team, he did a good job. But then, as you say, for me, one of the things that marks him apart as a person is the fact that, I've got to be honest. At the time when it was announced Ben Foster was coming, I thought, oh my God, great, but what a kick in the teeth for Howard, a very public kick in the teeth. A bloke's coming out of retirement rather than Howard complete the season. Even if it's not, it was just too good a chance to turn down. What must he feel like? And yet the way he handled it, and the way he very publicly talked about how what he wants is the best for the club. Correct. That's the sort of thing you rarely see in a player, isn't it?
No, most players of that calibre would just throw their dummy out and spit the dummy out and all the toys out the pram and have a paddy. But no, he was very courteous. He acknowledged the reason why we brought Foster in to see us through to try and win the National League, and then Leighton stepped in as well, but he got injured and he stepped in many times for Leighton when he got injured. He's been a superb player, and his attitude has been absolutely fantastic. And he's been there as a sidekick for Conquo. Conquo's just a young lad, and he's been there as a alongside him, bringing him along and teaching him what he knows. And yeah, he's just a good all-round player, Mark, which we're sadly going to miss. But that's Wrexham Football Club. That's what all our players are about. They're all people who play in a team. They're not an I am person. They're a team player, or each and every one of them. And that's what I love what Parky brings into that club.
Well, yeah, that's it, isn't it? It's a comment on his recruitment that he's brought in somebody who doesn't let his ego get in the way when Foster comes in, and likewise when Okonkwo comes in, because Foster was supposed to be first choice, Howard was going to be second choice, and then when Foster leaves, we recruit Okonkwo. But yeah, Howard is never going to let his ego get in the way, and I think that says a lot about him as a person. I love the idea of, because goalkeepers, will be their own little club within the club. And I just love the idea of this little school of excellence, this gang, which, Howard talks about, of all the goalkeepers being together and sticking together. And I like you said, he helps to bring through players like Okonkwo, but also, other young goalkeepers, Luke McNicholas, Liam Hall, have benefited with working with him, and Aidan Davidson, and as well, keepers like Callum Burton or Brad Foster as well. Throughout the last 3 years, we've seen a lot of good keepers, and they'll have benefited from working with Howard.
Oh, definitely so, Mark. Yeah, as you say, you named all those keepers, and Mark Howard's been there all that time. And we keep saying he stepped in when he was called on. The freak injury to Leighton. And then next game, Howard's got to jump up to the mark and take over. He's been a superb ambassador, shall I say, for the club and for goalkeepers. I shall never forget that he got us through 90% of that National League season.
Yeah.
And that's what we owe for. He's been with us 4 seasons now, I think, Mark. So sorely missed, but I'm sure he's a good chap, and whether he continues on in football or carries on in a career outside of football, whatever he does, he'll do a great job for whatever he turns his hand to.
Well, his intention certainly is to carry on playing, and if there are any clubs watching, I know the EFL clubs are all over our podcast, obviously. Hell's bells, you could do a lot worse than bring Mark Howard in. The guy is such a literally safe pair of hands. And this season really illustrated that, because we had that crazy run of injuries, didn't we? Okonkwo, Burton, McNicholas, we couldn't recall because he was injured as well. And it was crazy. And Howard really gets catapulted back in. And I thought he was outstanding. A couple of things. He keeps clean sheets, keeping that momentum going. He's got a couple of clean sheets from that terrific club record that we set this season. And then as well, Northampton game, he gets an assist. That's pretty handy. And then I know it's not what he's picked for, but it's helpful. And a team which are getting a lot of tight wins, that sort of thing is important. But the game that really stuck out for me this season was Burton away, a game which we were all convinced would be called off. And although, admittedly, the weather was a bit better in Burton than here, it was still the wind and everything around the ground. Oh, it was terrific. And it was a horrible conditions for a goalkeeper, as is illustrated by the fact that we won 1-0 because Elliot Lee scored direct from a corner. Not a total fluke, because Lee knew what he was doing and Wrexham knew what they were doing. They put all these in-swinging corners in, and they could end up anywhere in the goalmouth. But, Howard was superb, I thought, in that game. I don't recall him having to make any particular saves, but his decision-making, his experience, his knowledge of when to come and try and catch the ball, when to come, and even if it's dropping close to him, realise that, okay, it's falling for me, but in a second, a gust of wind could send it 6 inches to the right. And so he knew when to punch, when to catch, handling free kicks, set pieces into our penalty area. He just thought, oh, wow, isn't it wonderful to be able to rely on someone like him who has got that nous? And I thought it was a masterclass by him of how to handle horrific goalkeeping conditions. That sort of experience you can't put a value on, can you, really?
No, not at all. And then you've got the defence, and that gives when you've got a good goalkeeper behind you, that gives you the defence confidence as well. And as you say, he knew where to be in that goal, and I can't praise him highly enough, Mark. He's been absolutely superb, and it was great at the celebrations when we beat Charlton. But he's on the pitch there celebrating with the rest of the players as if he'd been there all season. Mm. But yeah, football moves on, and we've got a couple of good keepers at the club already, and we'll sorely miss Howard. He's always got a smile on his face, and he's a true gentleman. And we'll see where we go with whether we bring a new keeper in as well, because have we got the two at the club now, Mark? Or
we've got Luke McNicholas as well, haven't we?
Oh yeah,
and I feel he's got a lot of potential. The big problem for a lot of the young players at Wrexham is just that the speed with which we get promoted. I was suggesting this to my son yesterday. I put him in a sort of Russell Martin at Southampton situation of, we're stepping on and going further and further. So, you're bought for the future. Do you actually have a future? Or, like Sam Dolby, we brought him in to develop, and then we kept bouncing the league so quickly, we've not had a chance to really give him that time. So, whether Nicholas gets caught in that sort of situation, I hope not, because I rate him personally. Liam Hall we got as well. But I suspect losing an experienced keeper like Howard, I don't know. My gut feeling is we may look to bring somebody in. Maybe you got to register goalkeepers as well now, so you can't just have a couple of young keepers around and hope that one of them will fill in. They're going to take a slot in at 25 now.
Yeah, of course. Now the rules changed something in the Championship. You've got to register your keepers as well in your squad. So So obviously the club have got to look at their keepers and who they're going to bring in and who's going to leave during the summer. But there's very few players out of contract. Interesting months ahead, Mark.
I think so. It just struck me then. I wish I'd thought of this before we started talking. How young are McNicholas and Hall in terms of being at an age where you don't have to register them? Because that might give us a little bit of leeway either way as well. But I just thought of that now, so I'm not sure. I got to say as well, obviously, Final Whistle is the greatest football podcast on earth. Some would say the greatest podcast on earth. That's not for me to say. But Yours, Mine, Away, Mark Howard's brilliant podcast. That is there are so many great interviews in that. The David Raya one is one that sticks in my head as being fantastic. But it's a great podcast. The guy's got, like I said, like you said, great to carry on playing, but after he finishes playing, I would argue he's got a lot more substance than a lot of the regular media faces you see on, the broadcast channels anyway. If it got any sense, they'll lean on his experience and he won't be short on work in that regard.
Oh, gosh, no, he won't be short. As you said, he's got his podcast, and you've seen him on with Foster on Foster's podcast, and they work very well together. So, yeah, as I said earlier, whatever he does, he'll be very successful in what he does, because he's that kind of guy, isn't he? He's a lovable guy, he's a likeable guy, and he's always got a smile on his face.
Absolutely. We'll miss him, won't we? Well, bless him.
We will.
Maybe he'll come back one day. No, TST, he's the top scorer, isn't he, in the seven-a-side? We've got to use him up front. We should do.
I'm sure they will. I'm sure he'll be called upon.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice one. Well, after this, we'll have a little blast from the past. I can't do the Scooby-Doo thing. I'm sorry. I apologise.
How did you actually come to Wrexham in the first place?
How did I come to Wrexham?
Yeah.
To Dean Sanders.
You knew him beforehand, did you?
Yeah.
And so, obviously, his reputation made you think this would be an interesting project.
Exactly. Unfortunately for me, with injuries and things like that, I didn't get to play at my birthday. Yeah.
It was obvious for all of us that you had a lot of ability, more talent than players usually have in the conference, though, and you must have enjoyed being able to work with the other strikers and trying to help them out.
Yeah. I did some of that as well. for the young players, and for Jeff, who was playing also at the time. Yeah, I try to, yeah.
And
it was more down to my experiences. I mean, I'm not the oldest, but I believe I had more experience than a few of them. So yeah.
And Mark Williams as well, you played with, who's a great. He's a good player, isn't he? I think.
Yeah,
what are his strengths, do you think?
I mean, fantastic player. I mean, I just hope he comes back like from his injury at the same level. I hope he comes back at the same level that he was before the injury. Because Mark is a fantastic player, hard worker, and it's only looking good for him for the future.
Sorry, go on. Sorry.
I mean, yeah. I mean, he's one of those players that he works very hard, and he can put the ball in the back of the net. So, I mean, if he keeps working that hard and playing at the level he was before the injury, there's no reason he won't make it like at the highest level.
It was a shame last season that after doing so well that Wrexham fell away, wasn't it?
Yeah, really? Because we lost Mark Williams. Obviously, it was a big blow for the team. The loss of Mark Williams just affected the team like in any other way. Yeah, because this was almost our main man. We lost him, and then everything just fell away after that.
And frustrating for you as well. I remember watching a game near the end of the season where you would drop off the strikers and your passing was excellent, but obviously it was because of your knee. It was difficult to get into the box to get on the end of the crosses, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was suffering a little bit. That's why I had the operation done last summer. A few months ago, I was suffering with my knee. Like I wasn't playing at 100%. I was playing at the. What would I say? I mean, I was forcing a little bit, you know. I wasn't at my best, to be fair. Yeah.
It was painful, I'd imagine, playing through that as well, was it?
Oh my God! Nobody knows. Only me can feel that pain. Nobody knows what pain I went through after the games or things like that, because you know. The knee is like 3 to 4 centimeters, or 4 or 5 centimeters bigger than the other one. Oh. So yeah, and then I went through a lot of pain, you know, while playing, and after the game I was suffering a lot. So that's one of the reasons I decided to have the operation done.
Is it a problem that you've had before, the knee problem? Came?
I have had. It was a third operation in the same knee. I had this summer. I've had operation on that knee before, and toward the end of the season, it started swallowing again. Like it started getting worse than it was before I came there. So yeah, it was a problem I had before.
But obviously, when you came to Wrexham, you were hoping it would be settling down, I suppose.
No, I was okay when I came to Wrexham, and then through the season, while we were playing, it got worse every day. With every training and every game, it got worse. And for me, living in Coventry as well, it didn't help me a lot. Traveling every day with my knee like that, it didn't help. So yeah, I think that was one of the main reasons my knee got worse. Traveling every day from Coventry to Wrexham for training and things like that.
And I was thinking as well, Wrexham play Kettering tomorrow, and of course against Kettering you took that very late penalty, which we all remember. Talk me through that. Do you feel nervous at something like that, or just relaxed?
Well, I mean, you know, I think that's the way you have to relax, and it's just another pen, you know?
Yeah.
Obviously it was last minute. I understand people are nervous and things like that, but I mean, it's just it's another penalty.
Because
you just have to calm down and take it the best way possible.
Do you find that in general? You know, obviously a player gets caught up in a game and the emotion of it. You find yourself, you're able to be calm, and something like a penalty, you're able to do that. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I said before, I mean, in my career I went through a lot more than that. So that was one of the main reasons I stayed up to take that at that moment of the game. So yes, I had to take a penalty in the African Cup of Nations final a few years back, and I mean football, and then that was like in front of 60,000 people in Africa, and in Cameroon, football is I mean people live for that. So I didn't have you can't miss it. So he'll be blamed for everything that happened to the team. But I had to go and take one. I mean, or you make it or you don't make it. That's how you become a big player. You have to take those risks, isn't it?
And I suppose in Cameroon, once you'd gone to Europe, people must have been really interested in how you were doing. Did that make you a great figure even more in Cameroon?
Pardon me?
Did that make you a very popular player in Cameroon? They follow you in Europe?
I mean, for Cameroon, once you play for the national team, then that's where you really make your name, you know? You can be the best player in Europe, as long as you don't prove it to the people back home. They still a bit, you know, you don't have the full respect. But, yes, they love their football, and they love their players, but you have to do something for them to love you. For the national team, yeah.
And of course you did that in the Olympics. That must have been an amazing experience to go to that.
Yeah, and the African Cup of Nations, and yeah. I mean, playing for Cameroon, I've always been something very, 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 very big, and I'm still proud of it. It's something that you can't forget in your life, you see. I mean, for every player, I mean, I guess for playing for the country, it's something big. But for us, it was even bigger for Cameroonian. I mean, for me personally, it was something even bigger. Winning the Olympics and going home and having 5,000 people waiting for you at the airport. It's always, it was fantastic.
Can I just ask as well, you said you knew Dean Saunders before you came to Wrexham, is that right?
Yes.
How did you know him? Was it through working with him? Or?
You know the legend, isn't
Yeah. Oh, I see. So. What was he like as a coach? Because obviously it's his first time as a manager.
Yeah. Dean, I mean, I wish I had a coach like that earlier in my career, you know? I wish I had a coach like Dino earlier in my career because, yeah, he gave you the confidence you need as a player and the space you need to explain yourself, you know? It never stops he never stops telling you what is wrong with you or what is good, you know? So, I mean, it's very good. I mean, it's very good. I mean, for the young players at Wrexham, they're very lucky to have him there because it will never stop telling you what to do or what is wrong or what is not good. So you can only go forward with Dino.
And probably a good coach for a striker to have. He always says how he wants the ball to get to a striker early on, you know.
Yeah.
It must be nice for a striker to play for.
Yeah, of course. Even I'm almost 32, but the few months I have with Dino, I still learn something. So, so that to tell you, I mean, like I said before, when you have somebody who play at the highest level, internationally and nationally, and then as your coach, you're always going to learn something.
Well,
I mean, I hope the young players there, they do understand that they have somebody they can look up to. And because, you know, sometimes people talk and you have some coaches that just talk, they have never played. But once you have somebody who has played, especially like Dino with his personality, then you must feel lucky.
Yeah, I bet he was a tough opponent in training, though. Did he join in? Because I know he's proud of his fitness, isn't he?
I mean, he's been playing training though. Keep running and play some time with the team. Yeah, it's fantastic.
And could I just ask you finally, how is your knee now? How is it going?
Yeah, I had the pressure in the summer. I started running a bit too early, so it started swallowing again. So I just started running again now.
You got nothing lined up?
Now it's okay now, yeah. So I have nothing lined up for now. I'm just training and trying to get in shape before looking for whatever I'm looking for. So for now, I'm focused on my need to get back and to be better, you know.
It was reported in the paper when you went that the club would maybe come back and have your talk to you when your operation had happened. Is that the case too, or?
Yeah, I mean, I spoke to the manager a few weeks ago, and till February 2, it was up to my knee. So I mean, I don't want to come there and play at 60 or 70%, you know, because the people there, they've been very, very good to me, and I can't betray them. I can't just come and say, yes, I'm okay, while I'm still only like 60 or 70% ready. Now, I will only come back if I feel I can give my best and I feel 100% to play.
It's possible you could be back. That would be a good sight. I think it'd be nice.
I mean, if we're deciding that this summer, and then I'm gonna have to fight hard to come back. If I do, yeah.
Patrick Suffo. Wow, there's a blast from the past. Right, we will keep it going through the summer, I assure you. That was good fun to put together, but there's going to be a lot more to talk about next week. This was Final Whistle Weekly.